Voila. I thought so. How cool. Good day everyone, and welcome back to my last batch of travels for the year 2022. So without further ado, let's start our journey at Adelaide International Airport. So what made me want to film this run-on-the-mill domestic flight on Jetstar? Watch on to find out. And good morning guys, that's right, I'm coming to you from Adelaide International Airport. I am embarking on the last few flights of 2022, so I'm excited to get this journey started. So I'm off to Sydney today to catch the train, the XPT sleeper train, to come back to get to Melbourne, and then I'll catch another flight back here to Adelaide. So yep, the final batch of videos for 2022, so let's get this started. Let's do this. Indeed, what a fruitful year it's been in terms of my travels. I've been to places for the first time, and the experiences I received were enough to last a lifetime. So here's looking forward to 2023. If you're new to my channel, my name's Ryan. Born and bred in Singapore, I now call Australia home, and I create heaps of food and travel related content. On this trip, besides today's flight, you'll also see me showering and sleeping for the first time on an overnight train. So make sure you hit that subscribe and bell icon to keep up to date with my travels. While you're down there, smash the like as well to encourage me to keep prodding along to make these videos. So here's a thanks, because your support is very much appreciated. What a difference a year makes. A year ago in December 2021, Australia was in the midst of border closures, cancelled flights, and ghost town airports. For those of us lucky enough to get in a plane, we were greeted with pure desolation. So to see the airport buzzing with life 12 months down the road is something we have to appreciate and not take for granted ever again. In 2023, exciting things are happening here at the Qantas Lounge Precinct at Adelaide Airport. Besides the present Chairman Lounge and Qantas Club, a business class lounge will be added. Finally, elevating the lounge precinct here to be on par with major capital cities in the airline's network. While there won't be any physical expansion of the present lounge footprint, it'll be interesting nonetheless to see how the space will be divided to create this segregation we so humanly desire. As this was just after 7 AM, a comprehensive breakfast buffet was laid out. But it's the usual lounge fare, so nothing too exciting. But it's adequate to start your day with something decent. As I was heading towards Sydney, destined for a foodie date with my beautiful cousin, I was mindful about what I was shoving into my mouth so as not to unnecessarily fill my tummy up. So one of the perks of being a frequent flyer with Qantas is not only you get to access the lounge, you also get to guest your friends in. So voila! Daniel is my guest today. So as soon as he has arrived, I gotta go. So I'm catching my flight to Sydney now. So I see you guys in the plane. Bye. I'm actually a member of the private Facebook group called Frequent Flyer Australia, and I notify my lounge visits beforehand in there, whether it's with Qantas or Virgin Australia. I'm happy to guest you in if you're departing on the same airline of the lounge I'm in. But bear in mind the conditions I impose. I ask that you feed me peeled grapes and bring me freshly made soy latte from the barista station every hour on the hour. Are you up to it? I'm excited to hear from you in the comments. Basking out in the morning summer sunshine is this special livery Jetstar A320. Here down under, we call her Jeffer Jet, Jeffer Star, the Jeffer, so on and so forth. This morning, the departure has been delayed by 30 minutes because of an alarm in the cockpit which caused the engineers to take a closer look at one of the engines. Frequent announcements were made during this time, so we were kept very well informed. I always say, better on the ground than up in the air. The Jeffer's registration is Victor Golf Foxtrot. This Airbus A320 first flew in November 2010, making her just under 12 and a half years old at the time of writing. There was only one way to describe this morning's welcome at the door. Perky as a nipple. Everyone was in a good mood, so never mind there was a delay. Just look at how nice the weather is today. Sun is shining, gentle steady breeze blowing. If there's a silver lining in all of this, the welcome back on board Mr. So was it for me. You heard right. The crew eyeballed the boarding pass really quickly, zoned in on my last name, and this underlined the experience going forward. This aircraft is a standard all-economy layout, 180 seats in a 3x3. I'm seated in 1A for this flight, and I'm here to kickstart my front row fetish with serious gusto. I really don't know what's taken me so long to plonk myself in row number 1. I mean, as a habitual Max bundle flyer, it is free for me to choose. Just look at the bloody legroom. People frequently moan, cry out loud, look at me because it's the end of the world, and bitch about the legroom on Jetstar. Well, stop being an El Cheapo and fork out some of your dollars for row number 1. If you want to remain back there because you want to stick to $99 one way, then deal with it because you get what you pay for. In the seat pocket ahead, there is a boarding pass from a previous passenger, plus a new menu which was just introduced. But it features pretty much the same items as before. As they say in Thailand about the ladyboys. Ooh, same but different na, okay? Because this is the first row, your tray table is located inside the armrest. The recline button is here, which gives the seat a little recline but not by much. Located above is this overhead console with individual air nozzles and a reading lamp.
Cabin crew, arm doors. It is important that you are familiar with the safety procedures and equipment carried on this Airbus A320 aircraft. Please watch and listen carefully.
Hello again. We want you to have a safe and enjoyable flight. So please listen closely while we take you through the safety requirements for our Airbus A320. Your crew are highly trained to help keep you safe, so make sure you listen to and follow their instructions. As we get underway, please make sure your personal electronic devices are in a flight safe mode or otherwise completely switched off.
We took off from runway 23 into the beautiful morning over the southern suburbs of Metro Adelaide. Heading out into the St. Vincent Gulf over Glenelg, we would swing back around to head back inland. Without a single cloud in the sky, those of us on the port side of the aircraft got an overview of the airport we departed from and Adelaide City. Such a beautiful sight. We would cover a distance of roughly 1,160 kilometers and a flight time of 1 hour 40 minutes. And due to the time difference, we magically lose 30 minutes of our life flying in this direction. The weather forecast for our flight was a clear day ahead. So with such perfect flying conditions, why would you do anything else other than stare out into the yonder, looking into this beautiful country of ours from way up here? In preparation for the buy on board service, we deploy the tray table, which can be used folded in half or fully opened. There is a generous amount of movement of the table back and forth to give you more space. If you fly with Jetstar on the Max bundle, it is the most expensive fare bracket. I do this to maximize my points and status credits. This fare also comes with $10 to spend, so I got myself a tea with banana bread. I'm not expecting to be served a Michelin star meal by a celebrity chef, so this works fine for me for a flight of this length. Can I just say, being seated in row 1, you get the pleasure of being served first. The extremely warm demeanor of the crew was plain to see. Not only was I still being addressed by name, we were engaging in idle chit-chat together with my seat neighbors. Just when I thought that was the end, the crew then came back and quietly slipped this onto my table. My seat neighbors received it too. I was then asked to let them know if I wanted some more water or tea. But that question seemed to be directed at me, and I wasn't too sure if I was going to be charged extra. So I left it at that and said I was all good. This extra snack went into my bag as it was just too much sugar at this point. Row number 1 is so spacious, no one has to leave their seat for you to get out. You can almost do a small pirouette. That being said, it's been more than 30 years since I've actually done a pirouette. Oh, what I'd give to be young and nimble again. One of the disadvantages as a content creator sitting in row number 1 is the transparent bulkhead. The inevitable questions came about my filming. There was really no way for me to be discreet about it. I normally let my seat neighbors know beforehand what I'm doing, and most of the time they're cool with it. The crew in charge was genuinely intrigued about this hobby of mine and even let me know that sadly we would be approaching Sydney from the south, so there was no city view out of my window. You see, it is interactions like this one which can make or break a flight experience. While some content creators out there are genuinely out to create havoc for views, most of us are just discreet about it and try our best not to annoy. So I was glad the crew today were pretty accepting, which made the experience somewhat enjoyable. As this flight draws to a close, I think it's become pretty clear why I'm making this video. We're all very quick to criticize Jetstar when things go wrong, but we don't say anything when they get it right. I'm here to remind us all that Jetstar is a low-cost airline, and they operate everything with a tight ship with far less resources to respond compared to a full-service carrier. They nickel and dime everything else, and that's how you can fly between Adelaide and Sydney for a price. Sure, it wasn't all perfect. We were, after all, delayed for 30 minutes out of Adelaide, but the ground staff made frequent announcements to make sure we were all well informed of the developing situation. The crew manning today's flight were exceptional. Every single one of them. And they all took the cue from the crew in charge, who was the one mostly fussing over my seat neighbors and I. There was another one manning the meal carts, who would pop by frequently to have a chat with us as well. In the midst of it all, the crew came back and whispered from above the bulkhead, "Hey, guess what? We're landing from the north. You get your city view after all." It is these little things which matters and had contributed greatly to today's overall positive experience. I'm pretty sure I gained a few subscribers from the crew, who wanted me to give them a special mention in this video. But I'm not in the habit of naming employees, to be honest, so I'll just give a shout out to the crew on JQ783 who took care of me on the 3rd of December 2022. Keep doing what you're doing, and may your bright light never dim in this sometimes testing world of the travelling public. As promised, here is the final approach into Sydney Airport from the north, one of my favourite approaches in the world. Jetstar from Adelaide to Sydney. I mean, what a fantastic flight that was. I mean, the crew was just so jovial and, it actually felt like a Qantas flight. I mean, even the language they used, they were all so formal but more importantly, they were all very friendly. Well, anyway, thanks for following me on this flight, and I will chuck details of my Instagram on your screen right now, so hit me up there so you can actually follow my travels in real time, and it also gives you an idea of the type of YouTube videos that will be coming up on my channel, okay? But more importantly, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll be pinged every time when one of my videos come up. In the meantime, take care all of you, and I will see you for my next video. Bye.